How can I love myself when I'm single? Now, Valentine's Day is coming up this week, and many of us have mixed feelings about this upcoming holiday. Some of us might be excited to go out with our partners and get that bouquet of flowers and go out to dinner and hold hands, but to single people such as myself, it might as well just be another day. But to some singles, this might just be the most triggering day of the year. You might find yourself wanting to drive to the nearest Walmart and knock all of the hearts and teddy bears off the shelves, and no shame if this is you. I had my urges too. But some of us might feel bummed about the upcoming holiday. We might feel insecure about not being in a relationship or having a partner, and we might feel a little bit undesirable. But not to fret, this video is just for you. Let's get into it. Now, I've been single for a few years now, and have I seen cute couples in public and wished that I had someone to hold hands with? Yes. Have I watched TV shows and movies with iconic love stories and wished that I was in those scenarios? Yes. Have I seen flowers being sold on the side of the street and wished that I had someone to give them to? Yes, indeed. But although I might want all these experiences and I feel my heart longing for them more these days, I'm honestly okay with not experiencing that right now too. I realize that being single is not this bad thing that society cuts it out to be. They say that, oh, you failed if you're single, or you're lacking in some area, or something's wrong with you if you're not in a relationship. But I want you to understand that you didn't fail at anything. If anything, in my mind, being single means that you just haven't found that person that compliments you yet. And it's also possible that romantic love is just not the type of love that you need right now in your life to serve your highest good. Now, being in a healthy relationship, emphasis on the healthy, is a beautiful thing. But relationships have turned into this huge societal expectation as well, and this puts a lot of pressure on single people to find somebody. And there's so many pressures too. There's a pressure to be in a relationship by a certain age. There's a pressure to have enough game, quote unquote, to have multiple different partners throughout your lifetime. There's a pressure to date someone of the opposite sex, of course, and to marry said partner, because dating long-term without marriage? Abomination. I feel like relationships have become more like requirements, and this causes a lot of people to just feel like they have to have somebody, so they'll go for anybody just to avoid being single. Being single has turned into this icky thing that freaks people out instead of just being a normal way of life. And trust me, it is normal not to be in a relationship. We get in our heads about being single because we think it says something negative about us, but I want you to understand that it doesn't say really anything about you or your potential at having a long-term healthy relationship one day. It's just a part of life. And I feel like it's a part of life that everyone should experience for a considerable amount of time so you can learn how to fend for yourself and do things on your own and develop some self-love in the meantime. Also, singleness is not wrong either, and it's okay to want to be single or to even enjoy being single. People have this idea that being single is a miserable and forbidden experience, and to want to be single, well, that's just a cope. Well, I beg to differ. I've actually found a lot of joy within being single. I've been able to invest in myself more and invest in my interests and the things that I want to do for myself without having to involve another person. I've also found a lot of time for self-discovery and to try new things on my own. And I feel like that takes a lot of strength to be able to do that all by yourself without relying on someone else. This fear that we have around being single has actually done a lot more harm to society than good, because it will just cause people to enter toxic relationships and stay with toxic people all because they're afraid of being alone. Or people will just settle for someone even if they're not happy with them, just so they could say that they have someone around. But my question is it even worth it to do that? Lots of people compromise their own happiness just to be with somebody, just because being alone seems scary. But it could also be very peaceful. It's all about what you make of it. There's a common misconception that relationships only look like this.
Still isn't over.
Or this. Or this.
But to be frank, and give it thee again.
But I promise there's a whole other side to relationships that look nothing like that, and not everybody finds themselves mentally ready to face that when it happens. These representations have caused us to pedestalize relationships, and it makes us believe that the only way to happiness is through one of these romantic relationships. Now, I agree. Romantic relationships can definitely add happiness to your life, but they are not and should not be the only way to achieve it. In fact, nothing on the outside of you is the key to lasting happiness and fulfillment, because everything is always open to change and flux. Everything that you seek lies inside. Now, what if I feel like I'm just not good enough to be loved, or nobody wants me? It is a painful feeling to feel undesired, trust me. I felt the sting of that undesire several times throughout my lifetime, and it's not fun, honestly. But you're not alone in this. I've felt it, and I'm sure that many other people watching this have felt it too. The thing I realized, as crazy as it might sound, is it's really not as personal as it might seem. If you're single or you haven't had much luck dating, it does not make you undateable, it does not make you undesirable, and it does not make your love invaluable. I want you to know that your love is so valuable. And as someone who feels deeply and cares deeply, honestly, I have a lot of love to give, and sometimes it feels like my love was not appreciated or received by people, but I realized that it just wasn't meant for them to receive. Your love is a gift to this world, and not everyone is going to be able to receive that gift with open arms for reasons that we may never understand. But I want you to understand that if they can't receive it, then it wasn't meant for them. And it never was. But never ever close your heart, because some people need your love. Some people are going to be able to hold your love and to accept it and to appreciate it. So never close for those who don't want it. Never close for those who can't receive it. Also, if you're single, don't forget to count all the various other types of forms that love takes in your life. Love is not just romantic. It can be found in anything. It can be found in friendships, family, pets, nature, art, food, culture, experiences, and most importantly, yourself. Now, self-love is underrated. Trust me, I know. As a YouTube channel all about self-love, I'm still waiting for that peak in my analytics. But the funny thing is that when you develop that solid sense of self-love, you actually realize that it's one of the most powerful and fulfilling types of love. And you realize that it's something that you've needed all along. Well, how can I love myself if I feel undesirable by others? If I got dumped or rejected? Surely there's something wrong with me, right? Well, what if I told you that you actually never needed anyone to dictate whether or not you love yourself? You never needed their approval or their acceptance or their favor. Self-love is a personal choice that you make for yourself, and it doesn't depend on other people telling you if you're lovable or not. It's up for you to see that you are worth that love. Basically, if they don't like you, why should that determine if you like yourself? Not everyone is going to be able to recognize a good thing when they see it. Not everyone is going to be able to hold or take care of a good thing either. And if they decide they don't like it, oh well, you keep shining anyway and put your energy back into yourself and into the things that matter, because I promise you it would be a disservice if you didn't do so. And if you're single, you just gotta believe that you are a catch that has not been caught. You are awesome, you are worthy, you are beautiful, and you don't need someone else to see that for you. You have to be the one to start seeing that within yourself. And it takes a great deal of confidence to be okay with being single and to realize that being in a relationship does not dictate your worth, and it never has. Your worth has been with you the entire time, with or without a relationship. And I promise you, one day the right person is going to come along and compliment you so well you couldn't even imagine how well they're going to compliment you, even if you haven't met them yet. But it really just starts with recognizing that you are the shit and just owning that fact. And realizing that you don't have to wait around for another person to give you the world. You can start showing that to yourself. But please, do something nice for yourself today. Go get yourself that chocolate. Get yourself that teddy bear. Go get yourself them flowers, because who says that you can't? Last year, I took myself out for Valentine's Day, and I'm gonna do it again this year. Being single just means it's the perfect era to tap into loving yourself. So give yourself the love that you desire from others for once. If anything, let me be your Valentine this year. And here's a squishmallow for you, because you know I'm always hype you up, and I truly do see your light and your beauty. Oh, your beauty, your light, it's so blinding, I can't see. It's official, we're Valentines, and I love you. But self-love is a quest. It's a never-ending journey that we must go on in order to have happier and healthier lives. So allow me to take this journey with you and allow me to be your guide along the way, and we will learn to love ourselves together, day by day, little by little, and of course, piece by piece. Just remember that you are a catch that has just not been caught, and keep shining anyway. Just remember that I believe in you, but I just want you to believe in yourself. I'll see you guys next week.